Hey. So we're going to do another yin-like class, which just means a little bit longer stretching. You don't need props for this one. If you're pregnant, I would suggest it, but you don't need them. I'm definitely going to have 2 blocks because you know I love them and I always use them. You do need a wall though. So you're going to lay your mat like mine is, flush up against a wall. You're going to put yourself flush up against the wall as well. What you really want is the back of the pelvis, right? So it's the right behind the hip bone part, not the low spine, the part that you can actually feel the vertebra where it gets bendy. It's below that. So if you were to take your hands on the back of your pelvis and push them through your body, they'd come out at your hip bones. So you want that big bony structure that's comfy. You want to put that up against the wall. I know a lot of us have molding situations, baseboard situations. It might actually fit really nicely to where your pelvis is. This one kind of does. Feet go either legs crossed if that feels good to you, legs extended in front of you right now, or soles of the feet touching, knees open. We're just going to breathe for a little bit. So find a tall seat. So you might need to shift around a little bit, move the butt cheeks out of the way. Let the shoulder blades melt into the back. If that pushes the ribs forward a lot, see if you can settle the ribs and let the ribs themselves start to melt into the wall. Good. Back of the skull will rest on the wall, but think of getting taller. You're not pressing into it, you're just lengthening away from it. It's like someone has the hair on the top of your head and they're just pulling it up. Good. So once you found a nice tall seat, we're just going to sit, take a couple breaths, and then we'll get into it. Palms can rest down on your legs or palms can flip up. Let your eyes close. Or if that doesn't make you comfortable, you can just gaze down slightly. Soften your jaw, lips and teeth will part. Take a nice big breath in, feel your belly expand out. Big sigh out. In fact, let's go ahead and put our hands on our belly. Breathe in, puff your belly into your hands. Breathe out, feel your belly melt back. One more breath in. Breath out. Good. Go ahead and seal your lips. Belly moves the same though. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, breath in. Good, breath out. Blink your eyes open if they aren't already. And then go ahead and draw the soles of your feet towards each other and let your knees open. So what your shape looks like will be different than mine. It's basically a butterfly shape. You can maybe see a diamond in your legs. Don't worry about pushing the feet together. That usually lifts the knees up. And if you can't get your feet close to your body, doesn't matter. Move them as far away from you as you need. So you can have that nice comfortable seat where you're sitting upright. So our posture will start once those feet touch. I'll put us on the clock. We're going to be in each posture for about 2 minutes and you're already on the clock. So sitting upright feels good. You're getting some inner thigh sensation. You're getting some sensation through the back. You're welcome to stay where you are. Palms can rest down or up, or you're welcome to plant your fingers on the floor and sit up tall. So if that sensation feels good, keep it. If you would like to round forward and get a little deeper into the spine and the groin, your hands will just walk in front of you. Your head will drop down. And again, that low back is rounding. The back of the pelvis is still on the wall, so you're softening forward. If you do have blocks and you want to use them, you can take them and put them underneath your forearms for support. But again, not necessary. They're there if you need them. Head's going to drop heavy, shoulders are going to soften, and you're just going to breathe. Really let everything slow down. For some of us, it's the slowing down and the stilling that's the hardest part. Check in, especially if you have that belly and it's getting bigger and it doesn't feel good to round forward. You're either going to plant your fingers on the ground and start just to lengthen your spine to give that belly more room. Or if you have those props, you can flip them up and just hinge forward rather than rounding forward. That's going to give the belly more space. Kind of depends on what it needs, especially if you're having any nauseous sensations. Keep the spine a little longer. And if the feet need to move further forward, I think mine do, yeah, you'll get a lot more belly space that way too. Good. You're well over halfway through. Just breathe. A couple more minutes. Well, by minutes, I mean seconds. Breathe. Good. Big round in. Soft round out. Good. Hands on the ground, props if you're using them, pull yourself all the way up. We'll scoot those guys out of the way. Knees towards each other. Ooh, we have visitors on the roof. Fun. Hopefully it won't get too loud. Shake those legs out, let it go. Pat them. Legs go out to a nice wide V. So again, wide as wide feels good to you. Doesn't have to be as wide as me. You again want to stay up against the wall. So if that means your legs are coming in quite a bit and you're sitting more like this, that's perfect. Legs need to be soft. So thighs, knees, everything's relaxed, no muscular action. Sit up nice and tall. If tall sitting feels good to you, settle the ribs. Lean against the wall, just sit, flip those palms up and breathe. If you need a little pressure on the ground for support, go for it. You're already on the clock. Well, now you are. And if you want, you can round forward again to find that release in the groin. If that makes the belly unhappy, you're going for more of a splat, a flat lifted spine. You can tell it's early in the morning. And you're just going to hinge. Again, blocks are super useful if you would like them, but they're not necessary. All these same shapes can happen with just a little pressure. Try not to push into the floor. Let gravity start to help out. Legs are soft. And again, rounding is right there for you too. Just breathe. And you always have options, since we are in these poses for 2 minutes, to float between a little bit more lengthy and a little bit more rounded, whether you're pregnant or not, right? Whatever's going on. And if you need little adjustments from time to time, please find them. This is your halfway mark. Breathe. Soften your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Check in with the legs. Make sure they're really soft. Here we go. Big breath in. And breath out. Good. Feel your butt bones get heavier. Round yourself all the way up. Turn this clock off. Blocks out of the way if you were using them. Soft knees. Use your hands to help you. Roll them towards the front. Use the wall if you want to lean against it. Shake, flutter the legs. Roll them out. Again, whatever feels really nice. Good. And then legs are going to go nice and long in front of you. At least hip width distance. Bigger belly, wider. Make sure you're nice and tall. You're already here. This is your posture. We'll get on the clock. If sitting upright feels like enough, for a lot of us it does. It's already hard to sit upright. Notice if you're pushing and puffing, drop those ribs. Fingertips on the ground might feel nice just to keep you lifted. Maybe stay here for a little bit. If you want more, as always, chin into your chest. You can round forward. Blocks are there if you want them. Or again, if you need belly space, you're going to go a little bit flatter. You also have the option of stacking your blocks. Let's probably do it that way. Any height that you need to rest your forehead on, and then your arms will hang. Let those legs go. I know it's so tempting to touch our toes. I promise you they'll be there later, right? They're not going anywhere. No need to touch them. Just breathe. If the belly's starting to feel constricted, widen your legs, right? This is your halfway already. Breathe. Release that jaw. I know mine just got tense. Let the shoulders go. If you need a slightly different variation, last couple seconds, you're right here. Settle into the breath. Big breath out. Good. Roll yourself all the way up. Release the legs, shake them out, wiggle them, shoulders. If you need to lift towards the sky, little movement in the side bodies, go for it. Good. We're going to get into our hips, sides, front, then we'll be done with it. So, how to do this guy. I think let's just start with our left leg long. This is going to be a little bit easier on us. Cross your right ankle over top of your left thigh. So you're kind of in a half square shape. Good. If you have a full double pigeon where you can cross that left leg underneath, that's available to you, comfy and easy for you to get into, go into it. I won't explain it, but you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, ignore all of that and just send your left leg long. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Again, if this feels like enough, you're feeling a little in the hip and the back of the leg stay. If you want more, you're going to round yourself forward. If you want even more, you're going to push through your right heel. Bellies, right? We're a little confined here. For me, I like this one longer, so I'm either going to use blocks or just plant my hands on the ground and keep my spine really long, and my belly is just dropping into that hole in between my legs. If the belly is not an issue, maybe you're rounding. Maybe rounding and softening offers you more of the stretch that you want. And again, you're also welcome to play. Spend half of the time upright, half of the time soft. If your left leg is crossed underneath, great. Just make sure your joints are stacked. Again, as always, if you want more, push through those heels. If you want less, let the legs get soft. Breathe. Soften the jaw. Probably nearing halfway. Yep, we are. Shoulders drop. Head heavier. Breath smoother wherever you are. As you breathe in, you're just making more space. As you breathe out, you're just letting go and melting into that space. Couple more seconds. Just notice what's coming up. Hips get tricky. We get really chatty in our mind, right? Lots of things going on there. See if you can let that go. See if you can just settle back into the stillness. Good. Last round in. Last round out. Roll up to a seat. Ooh, hips, hips, hips. Release the right leg. Shake it, move it, wiggle it. Ankles, shoulders, neck. Just notice. Hips can be a lot. They are for most of us. Good. Right leg is going to stay long. Just bring it right back towards your hip bone. Left ankle. Oof. Hike it up over top of your right thigh. Active in the legs or soft. If sitting upright is enough, you're here. If you want to round forward or flatten forward, you can. And if it fits your body and you can tuck that right leg in, just make sure the shins are stacked, the joints are stacked, right? Everything is healthy, knees are healthy and happy. Don't have to worry about that. Ignore that otherwise, not necessary. Blocks if you need them, otherwise settle. Drop weight through your butt bones. Notice if you're rocking to one side or the other. Usually when we're rocking and we stay there, we're getting away from the stretch. You want to rock a little bit more into the stretch. And let the stuff come up. This is the good, the bad, the ugly. Whatever needs to come up, let it come up. If it's coming up, the cool news is you don't need it anymore. So if you're ready to let it go, let it go. If you need a little noise with that, go for it, but just breathe. The mind gets very chatty. Come back to the sound of your breath. You're just breathing in. You're just breathing out. And you're already halfway through. This is it. Last minute on the clock here with our hips. Soften the jaw, you're right there. Here we go, big round in. Big sigh out. Good, softly roll yourself up to a seat. Props move if you use them. Unravel your legs, take time. Shake, wiggle, roll. Good, let's get off the clock. We're gonna get off our butt too. So go ahead, roll yourself around. Blocks move with you if you're using them. Oof, to all fours. You were on that butt for a while, so you might need to lengthen the legs, stretch them out a little. Maybe those cat-cow shapes. Oh, anything that feels good to release, that low back, the pelvis, lots of movement. Good. You're gonna settle into a really nice wide child's pose. So big toes towards each other, knees are gonna open. You're flush against the wall. So if you can't get your legs open as much as you want to, just move your mat away from the wall, right? Why not? I'm gonna leave mine where it is. This is a soft, soft child's pose. So if you want more in the outer hips, knees wider. If you've got a belly, knees wider. If you want more in the low back, knees closer together if belly allows for it, but this should feel soft. Arms can either extend in front of you. I'm gonna cross and just rest my head. Blocks are also there if you wanna use them under your head or arms. This is, again, really soft. So if you need to go wider to make it softer, do it. My toes are no longer touching each other, so that's irrelevant. They're just kind of pointed towards each other, but they're really relaxed. Breathe. Let the belly hang, let the chest release. Breathe into the low back. And again, ladies, if those hips are really opening, if that belly is getting the best of you and so is the relaxin, come up onto your forearms. Sometimes I need a little extra support. You can let the head drop or you can just gaze straight forward, right? It doesn't have to be the most sunk, release, and deepest version of the posture. You're well over halfway through. Offer yourself support where you need it. If the knees need to come closer together for support, do it. Here we are, last round of breath. Full breath in, fill up those lungs. Nice big breath out. Good, shift forward, use your hands to help you. Weight moves out of the legs, gently walk your knees in and then release the backs of the legs. Release, release, release. Move the spine, again, head, neck, and shoulders. Your poses, whatever feels good to you, wag that tail. Good. Blocks, if you need them, are gonna go underneath your hands. Otherwise, fingertips on the ground, fine. Again, blocks are always an option. Your right foot's gonna step up as close to the right front corner of your mat as you can get it, and it might be so wide it's off of your mat, right? You're gonna press into your palms, lift that left knee up, take a moment, rock, 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 forward and back, forward and back. And then shift forward, melt your left knee on the ground. This might be a place where you need a towel. If you don't have a towel and you're like, why didn't you tell me that, Melissa? It's because I forgot to. Your other option is you can take your mat, double it up or triple it up. It'll become a cushion. Put your knee on that. That might feel really nice. Then step yourself forward. So you have that little extra cushion. That's kind of a sneaky trick too. Towel works great. Really soft, squishy pillow works nicely as well. Notice that your right knee is in line with your right ankle. Let's get on the clock. No need to be here longer than we need to. In line with your right ankle, or it could also be behind it. What you want to avoid is this shape, right? That's a lot of pressure in the knee. The ligaments and tendons doesn't feel good. We don't want it. So your right foot walks really far forward. Blocks, I like them, but again, you don't need them. Fingertips can be on the ground. Maybe you can lower down to your forearms if you're really open. I am not, especially this time of day. So you can keep yourself really lifted, or you can melt forward. These are called dragons in a yin variation. Breath of fire for sure. Most of us rock towards the pinky toe, that's fine. Maybe little sways if you need it. Left toes can stay active or soft. Be gentle with that knee. If it needs a break here and there, give it a break. You're already halfway through. This one is a lot again. You're into the hip flexors, the front of the hip. A lot comes up. Breathe. Maybe some in the outer right hip too. Again, this is halfway. Just breathe. Whew, this one gets me. I'm sure it's getting you too. Just keep breathing. Notice where the tension is, right? Shoulders, jaw, face. Move those around. Let it go. Last couple rounds. You're right there. Last one. Here we are. Breath in. Breath out. You're going to press into your hands. Blocks, if you have them, lift up. Ooh. Extend that right leg. Take a little shift. And then move your right leg back into space. Lengthen it out. Good. Send it forward again. And then walk it in so it's in line with your hip. Let's stop that. And then start again. We're going to go right away into a half split. So you're going to let your right leg lengthen. Hands are going to walk back, 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 back. And you're going to take a seat all the way down on your left heel. So if you were using your mat and now you're like, now my foot hurts. Lengthen it. Good. Take a seat on it. And for this one, if you have a block and want to use it, you can put your butt down on that block. Maybe you want to raise the block up, maybe not. Maybe sitting here is plenty. You're getting a lot in the back of the leg. Great. Belly, if it's in the way, not in the way, but if it's there, maybe you're going to go a little bit wider. Good. Maybe you're just going to sit all the way down towards the ground or just sit on your heel. Maybe you're going to send the heart forward. If that belly feels squished when you round, lengthen. Right foot can be active or soft, doesn't matter. You're already halfway through. That one was fast. Lots of talking will do that. Good. Lots of length behind the right leg. Might be pretty intense. Stay with it. Let the leg relax as much as you can. Breath in. And out. Breath in. Lots of compression in the left leg. We will release it soon, but enjoy that limited blood flow for now. We're going to release the knees, the ankles, the shins. They're going to feel so good. We're right there. Last couple rounds. Here it is. Last round in. Feel the back of the right leg just soften as you breathe out. Good. Roll yourself up. Using that block, move it out of the way. Fingers crawl, blocks crawl you forward. Right back to where you were. Shift the right leg back. Ooh. Extend it, move it. Shake everything out. Good, good, good. So if you're still all the way up against the wall, you're probably going to have to turn around to the other side. I certainly will in order to make it work. But if you moved away from the wall, you can just stay where you are. Let's do that. Sneak in a sip. Good. Starting in all fours. Let's get on the clock right away. This one's hard. Sneaky. Left foot's going to step all the way forward, outside. Walk, 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 walk. Left edge of the mat. If you need that mat right away, flip it. It felt good, so I'm going to use it again. Right underneath my right knee. Then step yourself forward. Again, knee is behind ankle or in line with ankle, never in front of ankle. Shift, wiggle, roll, move, do what you need to do. Wow, feel that side. This side is much tighter on me. Maybe it is on you. Maybe it's open. Good for you. Lower down, on the blocks, on the floor, whatever you need. Or maybe you don't lower down. Maybe you're like, nope, this is enough. And if it's enough, stay. Just be careful if you're sitting upright. There's a lot of pressure in the low back, right? So you have to turn the belly on a little more to get out of it. And breathe. See if you can relax your left toes. Soften your jaw, maybe nod your head a little bit. You're already halfway through. Stay with it. Let whatever needs to come up and out, come up and out. Breathe, breathe, breathe into the front of the right hip. Let that baby just hang out. Here we are, last round. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good, you did it. Plant your hands, lift your chest up, lengthen the left leg. If you want to move it back in space, stretch it out, you can. If you want to get rid of that mat out of the way, do it. Good. Left leg will step back forward if you moved it. It is going to go, let's just keep the hands inside. That makes much more sense. So it's nice and wide. You're going to take a seat back, back, back. You'll need your hands to nudge yourself back there. If sitting on the right heel feels comfy and enough, go for it. If you have a block and want to use it, you can. You can also sit on a couple pillows, pillow cushions, whatever feels good. Ooh. Let's reset. We're on the clock. If upright feels like enough, some days it does, stay. Left leg can be soft or active, whatever feels good. If you want to round and that's available to you, round. Belly's in the way for me, so I need to go wider with the legs, make room for baby. And I'm going to go flatter with my spine. Good. And the secret to stretching is you have to relax. You have to actually honestly believe that that muscle is going to let go. So if you keep telling yourself, oh, my hamstrings are so tight. Oh, my hips are so tight. Oh, they're never going to stretch. They won't. It's mind over matter more than anything. Let the breath help you and let gravity take over. So take a deep breath in. Feel the back of your left leg get longer in your mind. And as you breathe out, just melt and let it get softer. Just keep working like that. Breath in. Breath out, soften. Maybe it's micro movements. Maybe no one can see anything, but you feel it in your body. You're already halfway through. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All the sirens today. Oh, West Hollywood. All the sirens. Last couple rounds, we're right there. Nice practice and focus. Can you tune out the signs of the sirens? Let them go. Let the sounds dissipate as you breathe. They're getting closer, but we're ignoring them because we're just listening to our breath so much. And then they go away. Good. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Good. Fingers plant. Roll yourself up. Props move if you use them. You're going to need a little shift forward. Oof. Get out of those legs. Hands down. Wiggle that left leg back in space. Ooh. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. In the words of Elsa, let it go. Yeah. Move everything around. Good, good. Perfect. That's it. Just come back to a seat. Use that wall if you're there. If you're not, don't worry about it. Comfortable seat. I'm going to cross my legs now. Sit up nice and tall, lots of space everywhere. Just notice how different you feel. Palms down or up, whatever feels good. Legs can be as wide, they can be straight, they can do whatever. Just sit up tall. Ribs melt, shoulder blades melt, head, neck, float. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Palms to heart center. Sit up just a little bit taller. Breath in. Chin into your chest. Acknowledge what you did. Thank yourself for slowing down, for taking the time, and especially with this sequence, for being patient with yourself. It's hard to sit still. It's hard to listen to the body and the breath. One more breath in. One more breath out. That's all. You did it. I hope you feel nice. Maybe it's time for a nap. Go take one, or maybe you feel really energized. Have an awesome day. Take care of yourselves. Bye. See you later.